honor.
Have you ever been in Thailand?
I've never been in Thailand.
In Thailand, you have never get to the place by taxi. Always they are cheating and the routing to the maybe charge three times for the foreigner. So
my sister went to Thailand and she got completely nuts by the taxis and everywhere. When you in tourist places, they are trying to haggle you out of
they are
money.
cheating always.
So
Taxi?
Taxi.
but I think that I actually looked at videos but this is also kind of street vendor mentality. That's global. It's not only in Thailand. It's everywhere.
But compared with Vietnam always get to the right place, the right fare.
Even the street.
There are only two kind of taxi company you can trust. All others are the same as Thailand.
Yeah.
So you need to well, my sister got really, she got nuts actually to the point that she got really fed up with being in Thailand because there was always haggling and cheating and I saw a few videos, but I think I didn't think it was fair to Thailand to actually put them in because like I said, this happens everywhere. So street vendors, when you go to France or you go to Italy or you go to Thailand or Turkey, it's basically it's a global trade. It doesn't really mean at the business level negotiation that you will encounter the same kind of attitude. Reluctance to change. Basically, also it has to do with faith. Thai people are not really open to change. If you're opening your business there, if you're trying to introduce new work ethic, then you will quite likely encounter resistance from local people. Rejection of Western work ethic, meaning that if you go there, you will have to consider that you will not have your same production, your same output, your same dedication that you may expect in other countries, like for example Germany. And Buddhism, inward comfort, is basic inward-looking, finding peace within yourself.
Inward comfort?
Inward comfort is like meditation.
Love yourself?
Love yourself. No, finding like meditation is basically an inward looking attitude where you find peace within yourself.
No, my question, love yourself?
No, I think that's different. That's not what is meant here. Now, inward comfort is more getting to peace with yourself, finding peace through meditation. And meditation is basically emptying your mind and basically be.
You said meditation?
Meditation.
How about respect to the royal family? That's very distinguished in Thailand.
No, very heavy.
The royal family is. Didn't they have a member die recently?
Yeah, the king died, and the princess, he's not so well respected. That's problem because the political system is in chaos right now. So I think that's a special value of Thailand, that really respect the royal family. The people, after the king died, only black and white clothes are permitted for many months.
I didn't know that.
Is it on or before?
Oh, it's on.
Edo-san.
Hi.
Oh, he knows Thailand.
I think it's just different information. What I heard from the Japanese, some Japanese working there.
Yes.
about work
Ethic.
Is that a little related to the reluctance to change. I don't know right or wrong, but they are the rather not being encouraged and motivated to change by themselves. The culture, as you mentioned, the largely influenced by Buddhists. The teaching and learning in the school, something that the student is allowed to say something against the teacher.
It's not allowed to say anything against the teacher?
Yeah, in the school.
Oh, really?
So the student is motivated to follow the teacher. So just following that culture from the school to the business. And I don't know how to what extent the culture is followed by people, but in some case, the office staff is also following the culture. They are not motivated to say something by themselves.
Is that a matter of face giving and respect for the teacher, respect for elderly?
Mostly affected by the Buddhism.
Oh.
So it is not considered polite when you're talking, you talk something back to the senior people or teacher.
It's not even in an indirect way. I know a few. Sorry. Filial piety. Yeah, that has more to do with your parents. Oh, with your parents. Filial piety.
Yeah.
I must say that I worked with a group of Thai students, computer students, on a software project, and I can actually agree with you that even though they are very highly educated and they probably had very good ideas on their own, it was kind of difficult for me to get them out of the students. Even though they knew a lot more about software programming than I do, they still did not really challenge my ideas and came back with suggestions and improvement ideas, which for me is difficult to work, and it's one of the reasons why I actually ended up working with Russians, because they constantly challenge you. So that could be something to really consider. I'm very comfortable working with people who challenge you, because I am aware of the fact that there are lots of people around me that have much more knowledge and experience that I could benefit from if they would care to share it with me.
That's great. Yeah, it's a great example.
It's actually it's very, very important. Even Indians, I noticed that they do not challenge a lot or are not very active in taking responsibility. Russians do. Once you give them trust, and then they take responsibility and actually start. You need to be careful that you're still actually in control of the project, because they can take it to many different levels. So this is more. I would not easily outsource software development to Thailand, but because of this reason, mainly because of ethic reasons, work ethic reasons. Western work ethic is difficult, also because of the critical thinking, the questioning, and expressing your ideas to maybe your client or superiors.
Maybe it's true up to certain level of how to say, education or some the culture. So I mean, we cannot say that is all.
No.
But we need to actually accept some special case, like students working in advanced technology, or some people from China, I mean ethnic Chinese, is also making a bigger influence in the Thailand. They're working
like everywhere. Well, the students that I worked with were actually students from the most renowned technical university in Thailand. So they were supposed to be very good, and they were actually very good because all of them are well versed in all the modern program languages. You don't learn just one or two or three programming languages. You have to learn them all in the university. So they basically are multilingual on any kind of programming language. So that's they're all good, but unfortunately they don't challenge you, which is a pity.
Yeah, but possibly they would do so if they were educated to do so.
Yeah, probably. But it's I found it very difficult to challenge them, to actually invite them to be more critical, because basically they were not getting more critical. They would say, oh no, it's good, it's a good idea, we can make this work, it's okay. Yeah, but okay, but how can we make it better? It's good like this. Which I'm sure that they had their ideas of how to do things better. But if you have a well-defined product that you need to have made in Thailand, like for example, we saw that one of their major export products are more advanced electronics. I'm quite sure, based on the quality of the people that I saw, that Thailand could be a very suitable location for actually outsourcing these kinds of activities.
So as well as location, do you think if they're asked like this capable of taking the kind of the outsourcing factory in Thailand?
Well, actually, there is quite a lot of outsourcing, like textile and electronics. Thailand is quite big in those fields, and most of the capital that is provided from outside of Thailand. So they are actually already proving that they can do that.
If that mentality or the working ethic is good for outsourcing factory operation.
Well, if it is as good as it is in other countries, like maybe for example Vietnam or China, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, Thailand is a hub for the automobile industries. It's most of the Japanese big.
For assembly?
Yeah, assemblies. Yeah, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, name it. They have big factories
in Thailand.
So,
but so that's also like a typical would be a good example because basically the line determines the speed. It's not so if you have a predetermined speed, you can and repetitive. But technologically speaking, more advanced work, Thailand could be a good case. But I would not be comfortable putting a group of Thai people together and say, okay, now design me an awesome car, for example. No.
Why you don't like to? Why you don't like to work with them?
Because I think the lack of critical thinking, challenging spirit, and also, well, the work ethic is not as good as I see it, for example, in other countries like Eastern Europe and Russia.
I don't understand what means rejection of Western work ethic.
A rejection of work ethic means that basically they don't always feel that they need to work so hard, and on the workplace there is a lot of mixing private life and business life. If there are problems with the family, then you're expected to let people go home and take care of their family affairs first. It's a given in Thai society, but for Western companies, basically you can do that after you come home. You are being paid to work 40 hours a week, so you have to be here for 40 hours. You cannot just take off and say, well, my sister is sick, for example.
It's a collectivism. Collectivism, right?
Yeah, the group is important, and also that coexists next to your work environment, your private environment. They're all different kinds of environment, and you all need to be. You're a member of that collective, and work is not automatically the first priority, as it is in Western world. So your friends, they all operate businesses in Thailand, Takai-san. They're Japanese companies. Why did they choose Thailand?
Oh, it's my company.
Your company. Okay, okay. Why did your company choose Thailand?
I didn't know. I don't know in detail because it was open 40 years ago.
Oh, okay. 40 years ago.
Yeah, 40. But there is ethnic Chinese, the local person.
I see.
And who can speak Japanese, and may see good potential on our business in Japan.
Okay. And how is the collaboration with the operations in Thailand? Do you see problems with the work ethic, for example?
It's basically no problem because the management is localized.
Okay. But what does that mean? Does it mean that because it's localized management, they can impose Japanese work ethic, or does it mean that basically they manage it locally as a local operation, and the company is kind of expecting lower productivity and is fine with that?
It's managed. The company is managed locally, but the management is actually ethnic Chinese, so the business is, rather better than the headquarters in Japan.
I see. Okay. And when you say better, you mean?
The profit rate.
Oh, okay.
Operation profit rate is better than Japanese.
Okay. So that is also related to cost. So relatively speaking, the production per $1 cost is higher. Is relatively speaking higher in Thailand than it is in Japan.
Actually, the higher profit comes from the good selling. They're selling good.
Oh, okay. And where are they selling?
The government or international. Like credit card.
Oh, okay.
With some system solution.
Geographically, Thailand is the center of ASEAN countries, and that's a part of the reason why the Japanese companies put the factory in Thailand.
Wasn't Singapore supposed to be that place?
Like Toyota, there's a huge plant in Thailand, and all cars for the ASEAN countries are manufactured in Thailand.
I think the Thailand is manufacturing hub. Is not headquarters.
Okay. It's the operations units. Okay. So there's a lot. It's beyond electronics. You could just mention that it's also in the food industry, so the car industry, food industry, and are we talking all across the country, or is everything focused on Bangkok?
No, around there, it's not only Bangkok. Thailand is a heavy manufacturing factory there. And do you remember a couple of years ago they have a heavy flood? Mekong River floods, and many factories stopped for manufacturing.
It took a long time before operations could resume. Yeah.
Not Bangkok, it's all Mekong.
Yeah.
Both sides of river. Very famous for manufacturing.
So what is going on in Indochina, the peninsula is the Thai plus one, not China plus one, and after the Thai plus one.
I see. Okay. So let's move on.
Oh my God, what is this?
This is basically how do Thai and Americans, how do these cultures compare? So basically the way to look at this chart is in the middle they have the shared values, the shared values between Thai people and American people. But on the left hand side we see the horizon of the Americans, that the things that they do not have in common with the Thai, and on the right hand side we see the values of Thai society that they do not share with the Americans. So what they share among them, between the Americans and the Thai, is that they share love of freedom and freedom from control of outside forces. So basically, and not mingling with their local affairs. Pragmatism, unfettered by rigid ideology or dogmas, and social mobility. That means that you don't necessarily get stuck in the class society, but you'll be able to move up the ranks if you are productive, if you're good. Informal social interactions. That means that there is respect for elders, for example, but the way of interacting with each other is rather informal. Realistic, capitalist structure, and personal independence is prized. But also that feeds back into the love of freedom. There's no strong sense of lineage and dislike of pomposity. Pomposity is that pretend to be better than you are. Americans also like to present themselves as regular folk, easygoing, nice guy. Just call me John, and let's do some business. This is something that they share with the Thai people. What else do they put?
What do you mean, a personal independence prize?
That means that the individualism is something that is
but you said,
encourages.
Thailand people is not like that, right? Why?
No. Thailand people also they like individualism.
Oh, really?
This is the part where the Thai and US.
They share these values from both standpoint.
What do you mean down to earth?
Down to earth. That means basically to be down to earth is not
realistic.
put your head in the clouds. Exactly, realistic.
Yeah.
That's a
Down to earth.
like it's realistic.
Okay, so we can talk a lot about all these kind of lofty goals, but okay, how are we going to solve this problem today? That's kind of pragmatic, down-to-earth approach. Okay, let's just resolve the issues without getting lost in all kinds of abstract ideas and lofty goals.
It's interesting. You have the similar expression in English, down to earth.
Down
like
to
we
earth.
do, like.
You have that in.
I think so. If it's the same as, yeah, it's like on, like it's stick
So
to
put
the
your,
earth, like
keep
on
your
the
feet on the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah. Stay grounded. Don't get lost. In Thai, hierarchy is good for you. There is this relation that we also saw in other Asian countries, where basically you have to pay tribute to your superior, but your superior is supposed to be benevolent towards the people below him. So there is a good balance, and hierarchy is actually good. There is also this kind of fatalism that we already touched upon, where basically people feel that maybe through hereditary or previous life experience, they are kind of like they are born into this higher position, and it's not very often challenged. It's not based on benefit only. It's also because, like probably the king has been an extremely good person in his previous life, and hence was born as a king. That's not challenged. That's basically part of the natural order of things. Social cosmetics are necessary. That means that cosmetics is kind of like making things more beautiful than they actually are. Cyclic time, non-linear time, like we already basically there's no beginning nor end. There's the afterlife, and it's not like the linear time awareness, especially strong in Germany, where everything follows in a sequence. Basically, there's a time for everything. They're less time conscious. Thai are satisfied with their environment, not necessarily easy and prone to change, reluctance to change things. Buddhist fatalism, final decisions, ambiguous. And ambiguity is very convenient, especially when you want to give and save face, when you want to have kind of consensus decision making. You very frequently end up with ambiguity. Monarchy, here we have the monarchy, plays an important role. Respect for age, seniority, sporadic worker. Okay, that's not a very strong work ethic. Work must be fun. There are other things in life than work, and they also need their attention. They need their time. Fewer deep friendships, success through having a patron. This is something that I sometimes hear in Japan as well. It's very important to have the right, to get on the right train, to have a patron that looks after you, that you support on the one hand, and the patron pays you back by sharing in his or her success. Concealing emotions. This is something that is difficult for Westerners to understand, but Thailand is a country with many smiles, but that doesn't mean that everybody is necessarily happy. There can be a lot of tragedy hidden behind a perfect smile. Thai people are not that expressive with their emotions, especially when you compare it with Vietnamese, who are much more easy to express their emotions. But that maybe also is to do with the influence of the French in Indochina, and maybe part of that has rubbed up on the Vietnamese. Negotiate patiently. They have time. They're not in a hurry. Waits for promotion. Doesn't ask for promotion. Waits for promotion. And truth, not positive. If it's hurtful, so it's a little white lie is appreciated. It's not always necessary to tell exactly everything like it is. Sometimes it's good to lie a little in order to save the other person's feeling.
What do you mean truth not positive?
It means that in Thailand, people rather tell a little bit of a lie than tell you the 100% truth, if the truth is inconvenient for the other person.
Oh, okay.
So they will.
It's a little bit similar to Japanese.
I don't know. Is that also the last point? The truth is not positively hurtful.
I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, might be similar.
In Japan?
Just
Yeah.
sentence itself might be similar, but I don't know the Thailand.
I thought that Japanese actually are more focused towards the truth. No?
If it's hurtful, maybe tell a lie.
Yeah, that's
Really?
what we say
Yeah.
in Japan.
If you are cheating to the wife,
Uh-huh.
maybe not tell anything.
Not tell her. I think that society is different. Mm.
It's, yeah. So if someone is ill, very bad sickness,
Mhm.
and then sometimes it's better to lie that you're okay.
Oh, so okay.
Like-
you look
like,
fantastic.
Lie with love or something like.
Lie with love.
I think
That's-
much more than Japanese. This one. Much
In
more
Thailand?
than Thailand.
Yeah, do you have work experience in Thailand?
No, I have several friends in Thailand. By the way, they are very, calm, silent people, right?
Yes. They're not very expressive, not very emotional.
Not
They
like
don't
Chinese,
lose their
yes,
temper
not like Chinese.
easily. No.
Not like Vietnamese, very calm.
Do they like China?
There
Compared
is
with the USA?
compared with the USA, they like USA better.
And they
Yeah.
don't like China like Vietnamese?
I don't know if they're because basically
I don't know.
China didn't really mingle into Thai affairs. Part of the like China has occupied Vietnam for more than 1,000 years, and they have a very clear conflict of interest in the South China Sea. So there is a very clear animosity between the Thai and the Chinese.
You mean Vietnamese?
Sorry, and the Vietnamese, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Thai, I have not found any indication that they have a very strong aversion towards, but they are very capitalist oriented. So historically speaking, they are more focused towards Western world, Japanese.
Usually we don't have few news, especially political or diplomatic news from Thailand, right?
Yeah, no,
Very few,
there's not so much news from Thailand.
right? So I've never heard about the relationship with China or some trade doing with Asian countries.
Well, basically, I think that they're competitors in the low-cost production outsourcing world. People outsourcing to Thailand, like the example you gave for the car industry, electronics, T-shirts, food. Basically, they're competing with China for the same kind of foreign direct investment.
It's interesting that they have a lot of manufacturing company, including automobile industry there, but I believe that Vietnam is more cheaper, right?
Vietnam is cheaper than Thailand.
But how come is the main Japanese company
Go
going
to Thailand.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's, because
Maybe
it's-
geographic, like you mentioned, and there's also this thing like if the network, right? If there's already a lot of companies out there that are doing that, it's much easier to enter because it's easier to land in a country like that, and it's stable. I mean, Vietnam has like Takahashi-san's companies for 40 years already in operation in Thailand. That is 40 years ago, you would not start a company in Vietnam.
Yeah, socialist company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's
Lots of risk.
yeah, too many
Political
risks.
risk.
Yeah, too many risks in Vietnam.
It's changing. Maybe you
Yeah.
mentioned that.
Yeah, it is changing rapidly, but still, I mean, they are not a capitalist country. So there is still those risks are still there, even though it's changing rapidly. But the American values, I think we kind of already get that. Like everybody's equal and lots of superficial friendships and systematic work ethics and expressing your emotions openly is very much accepted in the United States, and success is based on results, not on whether you were born into a wealthy family, yes or no. And the truth is positive. So, like for example, from my own family, my mother is also, she's painfully truth. She always speaks the truth, which can be rather painful and offensive to people at some point. But yeah, when I ask her about it, why did you say that? Then she would always answer like, yeah, but it's true, isn't it? Okay. Takai-san.
My feeling is on the Thai side, the truth not supposed to be hurtful is like they are not willing to deny what someone is saying if it's not true.
Oh, so basically they are not calling out lies from other people, is what you're saying?
Yeah, no. Rather, they don't deny, but by saying it's not true. I tell you what, it's not their way.
So basically, they are never challenging other people in any way.
Yeah. Basically, it's saying.
So that means that the personal relationships are more important than results.
Yeah, if we could know that what someone is saying is wrong, but we are not positive to say no, it's not true.
So if you're negotiating, then you have to be taken into consideration that the Thai side is not